Zidane Dehny, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Nerd Chat, here on Electro Ninja's Lab. I am, of course, joined by my fellow hosts,
Frank the dopamine dog.
Joker here.
and we do have a special guest that's kind of in the background, but not really going to be super involved with this. You
Her name
mind
is
introducing
Darkside.
yourself?
Say hi.
Hi, I'm Darkside.
Just carry on what you're doing.
Okay. So, today's video is a bit special. It's not really about nerdy stuff, but instead we're going to be talking about what it's like living with ADHD as well as other mental disabilities as well as other disabilities because Joker has literally died in the past. So, yeah. Um we can get into that probably. I will not be doing most of the discussion in this video. Instead, I'm going to leave it to Frank the Dopamine Dog because she knows a lot more about this stuff.
It's true.
I'll be right
Hey.
back.
Okay. Guess Joker is leaving for a sec. So, for those of you who are unaware, I am not diagnosed with any mental disabilities, but we have actually been able to pretty much figure it out ourselves that I likely have ADHD, autism, and dyslexia. Is there anything else that you think I have?
No, that sums it up. You're a bag
Okay.
of cats.
That's fair. But like I said, we have never had me diagnosed, so we don't know for exact fact, but it's pretty certain.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious.
Yeah. I mean, considering considering the fact that we literally go off the rails all the time. Yeah.
Yes.
So, why don't you tell them a little bit about your background, Frank, and why you know about all this?
Okay, yeah, so I actually am diagnosed because I go to doctors and have insurance and shit. And so, I have ADHD, autism, OCD, Tourette syndrome, dyslexia, and oppositional defiant disorder, which is super fun. So yeah, so that's why I have a lot of background. I also am a psychology student in university, so I happen to know a lot of things about this. Just because of that, my mom is also a therapist, but she kind of sucks. So, mom, if you hear
I'm
this,
back.
I love you, but you sucked for my childhood, and you know it. So
Don't worry, Joker. She's not talking about you. She's talking about her mom.
yeah, the Joker didn't suck for most of my childhood. I didn't know him for most of my childhood.
Yeah, we only knew each other in high school, all three of us. Which
Yes,
didn't weren't you also the TA for the special needs teacher?
I was. I was the TA for the self-contained special ed classroom in high school for
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah. I remember that because we used to hang out occasionally there, which
Yep.
that was fun. All those kids were
Yeah.
actually really awesome.
Yeah, it's actually really awesome. Some of those kids are my favorite people on the planet.
Oh, good times.
How about Jokey Boy? What's his ish?
Joker,
What?
What's wrong with you?
what are your issues? Like,
Hold on, I'm doing something.
okay, we'll come back to you. Yeah.
He needs to find his list.
uh, I think the majority. I don't know if it was 100% of us, but I think the majority of us in the in Nerdy Birdies did have some mental disability at some point.
Yeah, actually, these are known as what's known as developmental disabilities, typically.
Yeah. I mean, I know that obviously I know that Hunter, who is actually shown up on the channel a few times. I don't remember what I've actually given him. I think he's been Isengard. I think he's been Killer Dwarf. But he has short-term memory loss. So that was a fun situation to deal
Like
with.
Dory. Just like Dory.
Yep. He wasn't as extreme as Dory, but
Don't ever tell him I said that. That's fair. I mean,
uh,
while we're doing this, I'm gonna play with my axolotls.
uh, so
The latest Minecraft
yep,
installation has them.
yeah. Which oh my gosh, we had so many issues. Did do you remember what any of the others had?
Oh, most of us had some sort of ADHD, dyslexia.
Yeah.
Joseph had really severe dyslexia and ADD.
Yeah, I knew about that. Um,
I don't know about Ryan or anybody else.
yeah. I don't think I kind of doubt that Ryan or She Who Must Not Be Named actually got, or her sister ever got diagnosed. Just knowing their situation.
Yeah, well, Lord Voldemort himself has now not been diagnosed with anything.
Oh right, that whole situation. So we're not going to talk about that. But anyways, um, did Tesla slash Augie ever get diagnosed or?
Yeah, Finn is diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, depression, and anxiety.
Okay. Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense, knowing him.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Oh.
I didn't.
I mean, and of course we don't know about the youngest member, if she would ever be diagnosed with anything, because she was literally a baby.
I'm sorry, who?
Who Must Not Be Named's sibling.
Oh, Natalie.
Yeah.
Natalie. Okay. Yeah, God knows. I mean, most of that family was, so.
Yeah.
I mean, the boys had the homicidal triad early on. I mean, murdering chickens is a whole thing, so.
Oh my gosh. Frel.
Did you forget about that?
I did, actually. Holy crap, I totally forgot about that. Oh.
I did not. I could not forget about it.
I even made a joke about that. Why did the kid put the chicken in the car?
Because he is a freaking psycho.
That, as well as because of the fact that he thought it was fast food.
That's not why he did it.
I know.
I did not understand what you're talking about.
One
Charlotte's
of the
younger brother put a chicken in a car one time to kill it.
Yeah. There was a lot of chaos in that house in general.
Kid didn't own shoes. That whole thing was a bag of cats.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, seriously. I'm kind of surprised that you didn't actually like call somebody like protective services or something on them, especially after the whole chaos happened.
Well, if I went back now, I'd have to call DHS, but I wasn't the mandatory reporter at the time, so
Yeah.
Now I'm a mandatory reporter.
Yeah, we should move on to a different subject. Besides.
Anyway.
Yeah. So,
I think the word you're looking for is anyway.
Yeah. So, yeah, we actually have it pretty easy compared to many others.
Speak for yourself.
Okay. Yes, I myself have it pretty easy. Why don't you tell them why you hate the word high functioning?
Okay, so there are some words that we use and we don't use. Everybody knows that, right? Like, there are slurs we don't use, we don't talk about.
Like the R word.
Precisely. There are slurs and words that we don't use. High functioning and low functioning are one of them, because if you're high functioning, chances are good that all of your struggles are going to get blown off, and people are going to be like, well, you don't struggle enough to qualify for X, Y, and Z. And so you're going to try and do things like ask for help, and people are going to look at you like you have lobsters crawling out of your ears. And that's really unfortunate, because everyone should have access to all the help that they need.
Yeah.
On the other hand, saying low functioning is going to take away from all of your skills. Half the time, if someone says that they're low functioning, they're not going to treat them as if they have any skills whatsoever and can be ever a functioning human being, which is not true. most people who are deemed quote unquote low functioning are actually quite competent and can do many things by themselves. And in
Yeah,
fact,
isn't
one of my friends who was considered low functioning while we were in high school had far better social skills than I ever did, and still does.
didn't your nephew also wasn't he also considered low functioning, or am I wrong?
He was never considered any sort of functioning. He just he has ADHD and was considered developmentally delayed, and well, is considered developmentally delayed. But then again, so am I, and I'm 22. So
Okay. Yeah. Okay then. Yeah. I just misunderstood that whole situation there. Oh my gosh.
figure out how to play baseball. Figure out how to
Also,
play ball.
can I just say your nephew is amazing?
He is perfect. I love him.
Oh my gosh. Which
He is perfectly imperfect in every way.
should we explain that situation about how
My sister is adopted.
yeah, that.
Big deal.
Okay, good. That's basically as far as I wanted to
My sister
explain
is
it.
adopted.
Woo! That's all we need to explain it. Okay, moving on. Oh my gosh.
So, what do you want to know about different things, Zeph?
Oh, Frel. Honestly, I'd just like to hear you just go off on a few different on just random things, whatever you want to talk about. Because
Okay.
like I said, you know a lot more than I do.
I do. I know a lot more than most people.
You do realize the chaos that this is going to ensue, right?
Yes.
And all the information you're going to get.
Yes. And I love it.
He
So
dated me.
do
He's
it.
aware. That's true.
Just
he
do
knows.
it.
I forgot he's the guy you dated.
So do I.
I also,
forget that too.
like, forget that you dated the guy.
I forgot that I liked him at one point as well too. Mostly because he wasn't the man at the time. He didn't even have acne.
Yeah, actually, you're right. I did not have acne.
Also, I'm surprised that your friends didn't, just knowing you, that
They weren't shocked.
that no one asked me these things, what my issues are, just because I know you.
That's fair.
What you know? What's actually now that I'm thinking about it, how do you feel about the words introvert and extrovert?
I feel like they're descriptive, but they're not necessarily the only words we need to use. We need to be very aware that extroverts still need breaks and still need sometimes when they're without people, because everyone needs a break and everyone is entitled to having a time without people.
Yeah.
There's also introverts who can benefit from time with people and who enjoy spending time with people.
Exactly.
It's important to realize that people also shouldn't be defined by just introversion or extroversion or ambiversion, which isn't somewhere in the center, but can also experience things like, if we talk about love languages, we can easily talk about how my love language is quality time. And so if I'm with the right person, then I absolutely won't even realize that I'm spending time with them. And that's not because they're better or worse than anybody else. It's because that's my love language and I love being with them.
Yeah.
I fully agree with you on that one.
Oh my gosh.
Also, I'm also a psych nerd, so at some point in time I'm going to jump into this conversation more, because
Yeah, that's true.
it's
She's
fun.
also a psych major.
I want to do more with psych than she does.
Sure.
Well, I mean, considering the fact that Frank wants to become a history teacher, yeah.
That's not saying a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going directly into, mental health counseling.
Yeah.
That's
It's gonna
good.
be a real
We need more. We need more good mental health professionals.
My goal is to be, a mental health care worker who doesn't charge an arm and a leg and has solid religious Christian beliefs without forcing it down my clients' throats.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh my gosh.
That's what my dad does.
Yeah. And my mom.
Oof.
Yeah.
I will bring it up if they ask me to bring it up, but if they don't want anything religious, I won't do anything.
Precisely.
I'm there for mental health. If they want spiritual counseling, I'll be like, hey, so there's a pastor in the
Other room.
just next door. I can go grab him. I know him real well.
Married to him.
Oh.
I know him biblically.
Little bit.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, that was a little crude, but it was perfect. I had to say
That was great
I
timing.
could not resist.
Oh my gosh. Now I'm thinking about the pastor on TikTok that I showed you.
Which one?
She's I think she was Frel. I don't remember what her name was, but she was but she does a lot of stuff about especially recently about the LGBT community and stuff, and why
I've seen quite a few of them. I quite like them.
yeah. I don't Frel. There was a lot. Speaking of which, for those for those of you who are unaware, all of us are Christians. Well,
You don't have to be not a Christian to be part of the LGBTQ community.
yeah.
This is true.
So I think that a lot of Christians get a lot of bad rep for really hating
That's
on the
because, honestly, take it from someone who's a Christian. Christians suck.
yeah, way too many of them actually just go completely just crazy, and it's kind of bizarre considering the fact that we're supposed to be
Jesus
more like
loves to
Jesus,
love.
and he literally was around sinners. He helped sinners. He talked to sinners all the time. And
It was-
even if you want,
Jesus
even if you're on the
was-
side that thinks that the LGBT community is a sin, you're not the one to judge them. That's God's job. And also,
Your
you're
job
supposed
is
to love them
to love
anyways.
them and care for them.
Exactly.
God wrote in Matthew 7, judge not lest ye be judged. As many times as you judge another, I will also so judge you.
Yeah.
And so I'm just kind of like, well, he said it, not me.
Sorry, we've gone completely off the rails. Joker,
Again?
did you want to say anything?
As always. What would you like to know exactly?
Just tell us a little bit about the what it's like with
What's it like to have
your
that?
situation.
With my situation, with my heart,
Yes,
Your heart and
issues.
mental stuff. Yeah. All that.
well, with my heart issues, there's not much that I can do within sports or physical activities, even though I love playing sports. And I know Electra's going to get mad at me for saying this, but I love football. I love watching football, and some of my favorite games to play on video games are the
Mad.
sport games. So Madden, NHL, 2K, Show, just all of them that I can, because I can't play sports normally, which I would love to be able to do. So that's how I get to be able to play my sports, is through video games, even though that's not real sports.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not mad at you for liking football. I just hate football with a passion. That's all. I get
That's
why
fair.
people like
You
it.
hate all sports with a passion.
Okay, true, but most of my bullies were sports people, so that's why.
Yeah, I like baseball a lot.
Which is weird, because everybody in the high school,
Okay, you were special. No one hated you. But a lot of the
I'm not sure. I hated him for a good minute there.
that is true.
yes,
You hated
Frank
him for a
did
little
hate
bit.
me for
A misconception, I
at
think.
least
What
the
was it?
First 2 years of high school, she hated me.
Yeah, it
To
was
be fair,
it
you
was
kinda
really
hated me
annoying.
because I was dating Zephyr.
Yeah. You hated him while we were dating. It was just like this weird situation where I'm just like, I want to hang out with my friend, but I also want to hang out with my girlfriend. What do I do? This is a huge mess. They hate each other. What do I do? And then you guys figured it out, and it was basically that someone had told you that some other Ben was asshole or something. I don't remember what it was.
You know how many people have the name Ben?
Especially in
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, a
There's
shit
a
ton.
lot.
And one of our future guests, which that's gonna be an interesting conversation. He's also named Ben. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna warn you.
For a fact, I never hated Jack. She's the one that hated
Yeah.
me.
yeah. Okay, I know.
Jack, I'm gonna warn you really quick.
Oh no.
The other Ben might really piss you off.
Outstanding. I can't wait.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. He's in the group that hates the LGBT community, that type of Christians. So
So he's not a Christian. Got it.
I don't know. I don't know the exact details with him, but he's not overly fond of them, and yeah, I don't. He's said some things that I'm just like, if he said this in front of you, you are gonna hate him.
Probably.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll be able to help him to understand our beliefs a little bit better.
Maybe.
He's probably
I got
also
you to
watching
believe
this
that.
video, so hi. But
Highly unlikely, but still.
we'll see. But yeah. Oh my gosh. Just that was a weird situation. I think it's actually funny because while we were dating, I think McCallum hated me.
She did because of that one time we were sitting in gym and she was sitting there. We were sitting in the gym and they were talking about dress code and they were like, you can't have any holes in your pants. And you looked at her directly in the eyeballs and petted one of the holes in my pants.
Oh, I forgot about that.
You realized what you were doing, but you looked at her straight in the eyes and was fingering one of my jeans holes. And from then on, she was like, "This kid is trouble." Probably like the least amount of trouble she'd ever have to deal with.
Yeah, it's just even more hilarious because I still managed to get teacher's pet in our freaking senior yearbook.
Yeah, that's true. You did do that.
It wasn't. I keep forgetting his name. What was his name? That was actually funny.
Which one?
The guy who was. He's transgender. I'm pretty sure as well, right?
Matt or Curry?
Yeah, Curry.
Yeah.
Who
That-
now?
Curry's a boy.
Yeah. It was funny because almost every other thing, it's like a boy and a girl are the two people that are that are in there, and then there's Curry, and I'm just like, okay, why is
To be fair, everyone thought Curry was a girl.
true, but I don't know. I think it's weird though because considering the fact that he's transgender, I kind of from the moment that I
very
met him, I thought boy. So
Yeah. He'd be happy to hear you say that.
But that's actually another thing. Curry actually hated me.
Curry hates a lot of people.
Yeah. I don't know. There were a lot of people who hated me for some reason. And I actually have very little reason, very little understanding why.
So, okay. Have fun with that.
Why are we talking about high school again? Oh, right, because we went on a tangent.
Tangents.
That's what happens when you get a bunch of ADHD people together.
That's true. That is 100% true.
Which is mostly Electra and Jack here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's why the frickin' picture for this video is is the meme, the car meme, which I,
That's fair.
or should we call it the exit car meme? I don't know what to call it. But yeah. So, anyways, trying to get back on topic. Um, you want to explain a little bit about the spectrums a bit better?
Sure. So the spectrum. Oh, that's not what I want to do. The spectrum is an easy way of describing how people can be autistic and ADHD. The spectrum. People think of the spectrum as like a line from point A to point B, but in reality, it's more like
An
a
XY
color
coordinate?
wheel. No, it's more like a color wheel. People can be all
Okay,
kinds of
that's
things.
fine.
It's kind of like an ice cream bar. There's no telling exactly what traits they're gonna have as an autistic person, but they're gonna have some of the, and so there's actually a wide list of autistic traits. People don't always realize are autistic traits, and so it's interesting to like remind people, hey, these are autistic things.
Yeah.
Let's see what else.
Yeah. I'm basic. I believe we had me take a quiz actually on this, and it basically
We
said that I
did.
had autistic traits.
Yeah.
And that's it. But I don't know. As we've actually kind of gotten to know me a bit better, it's not. I'm not certain if that's accurate anymore, but I don't know. Want to talk about why we hate the people like Autism Speaks and stuff?
Yeah. Autism Speaks is a hate group that goes and spends time saying, Autism Speaks, it's time to listen, and things like that. But in reality, they don't actually spend any money or any time dealing with autistic people.
Yeah.
He's the last one.
They do, in fact, spend more time. They spend more time trying to put forward abusive therapies and other kinds of therapies that pretty much at the end of the day just serve to make autistic people normal, which is not what we want.
No.
It's not the point. It's not the point. And so when they do that, it makes it really hard for the rest of us. We're just trying to live our lives to just live our lives.
Yeah. Is there any specific group that you would actually recommend to people who are looking for a group of people that would actually be helpful?
Yeah, so if you're gonna support an autism charity for whatever reason, you are autistic or you have family members who are autistic, things like that, nature like that, and you want to support autistic charities, support something like Autism Self Advocacy Network, or Autism Women's and Non-Binary Network, and any other number of autistic charities that are autistic run. The basic criteria is if they have an autistic person on their board, they're probably doing okay. Autism Speaks has exactly 0 autistic people anywhere near their board of directors or anything else like that. And it just it just looks bad if they don't have anybody who's autistic actually on their board of directors. You can imagine why.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't have anybody who's autistic on their board, then they probably don't have any reason to be in the autistic community.
Yeah.
Besides profit.
That's true. That is 100% true. Oh my gosh. So, Frel, there was something else I wanted to talk about. Frel, Now I'm forgetting what I was going to talk about.
As we do.
Yep, that just happens. Fro, I don't know. Frickin' brain farts. We love them, but we hate them. It just happens, and it really sucks sometimes.
Yeah. Agreed.
I think it was basically another question, but I'm forgetting what it was. Oh, now I remember. Should we cover the things that people for some reason think cause autism and how they're wrong?
Yeah. Yeah, so we definitely can cover that. So a lot of people think vaccines cause autism,
Which they don't.
but in reality, that was a schema put on by a man named Dr. Andrew Wakefield, who actually lost his medical license. He now can no longer practice medicine in any country. It was written in a British journal called The Lancet, and they found out later that it was purported and supported by 12 families of autistic children. Oh, yes! Sweet. Sorry. I just got an update that said that Boston beat the White Sox.
Nice.
So I was very happy.
You were talking about the
Yes.
families.
Yeah. So they funded Andrew Wakefield's work and research, and there was only 12, and their children were the only ones who were studied, and one other. The problem with that is, first of all, 12 is a really bad subgroup. Like, you can't just test based on 12 people. That's just not how science works.
Yeah, and you need to if you're going to do experiments, you need to have a large group of people from multiple different backgrounds, and
exactly.
If it's going to be something that's going to be like studying to see if it's going to cause something, you can't just grab people who already have that thing. That's not going to do anything.
So there are some facts that he did find. Facts found that if you remove things like heavy metals and other things like that from human beings, autistic human beings in this particular instance, they will feel better. That's just a fact of life. If you remove heavy metals from any human being on the planet, they're gonna feel better. Yeah. Because that's just nothing that should be in the human body. On the other hand, saying that those heavy metals then cause autism, that's not true. Nothing causes autism except for genetics.
Yeah.
However, you can lessen autistic behaviors with medical models, like putting them on a different diet and things like that, or doing your best just to make their life easier. Because let me tell you something, when I'm eating gluten-free and I'm not in pain, I'm much less of an irritable person. I'm much less likely to have meltdowns. I'm much less likely to be defiant with my ODD. I'm much less likely to have OCD symptoms, and I have far fewer tics. But that is because there's a lot of stress taken off of my body. It's not because I'm suddenly less autistic because I stopped eating gluten.
Yeah.
That's the point that I think I would like to make to most parents, is that you're not going to cure the kid's autism because A, that's not what you're supposed to be doing, and B, even if you were trying to do that, why? Why do you want to cure your kid from something that doesn't need curing?
Yeah.
And I know people are going to say, well, what about the low-functioning people? And I say this to them. With the right supports, anybody can do literally anything. There have been plenty of people who were at one point, quote-unquote, low-functioning, who are now beautiful, functioning people who have things like PhDs and things like that. For instance, one is Carrie Magro, who has 2 PhDs and is an autistic man who used to use augmented and alternative communication because he couldn't speak until he was 6 years old. So that's the thing. Also, a lot of people like to tout the ABA therapy. Now, I'm against ABA therapy for a lot of reasons, but one of them is because it tries to make autistic people normal. And the point of living is not to be normal. That's not why we do things. That's not why we exist. We exist to be ourselves. We exist to honor God. And I honor God far better when I'm not being forced to do neurotypical things like make eye contact or not STIM, which is self-stimulatory behaviors, as in the flapping of the hands and the rocking and even things like laying in a hammock that make my body feel better and make my sensory issues go away. If I'm not allowed to do those things, then why on the hell would I want to be here? The answer is I wouldn't.
I mean, it's kind of a bit of the Nerdy Birdies catchphrase: "Be weird and proud."
Exactly.
I mean, frick, all of our songs that we've considered basically our theme songs, like Heathens and others, are all just uh, they all signify that idea of we're weird and we're proud of it, and it's
Or at least you
yeah,
can't stop us from being weird.
exactly. And honestly, I love a lot of these songs that we've kind of depicted as these are our songs now. We are going to play these at if we ever have to go into battle, the Nerdy Birdies are going to get together and we are going to play
On
these
our
as our
corgis.
huh?
On our corgis.
Yep. We are going to play these songs and we are going to ride into battle. And people
On
are just going to
corgis.
hear these and just be like, what the fuck is with these people?
In the best way.
Yep. Including the songs that I shared with you from One OK Rock.
Yeah. Stand Out Fit In is probably one of my favorites, as well as Eye of the Storm.
That's fair. Yeah. You like that entire playlist, if I'm remembering, right?
I do like One OK Rock's entire album, Stand Out Fit In.
Yeah. That is honestly an amazing album, and for those of you who haven't heard it, please listen to it because
No, we're not sponsored by Spotify, as nice as that would be.
yeah, we are not sponsored by anyone. Please do not think that we are, because we still haven't gotten sponsored yet. But if you do want to support us financially, then definitely head down to the description and check out all of our links down there, including our book, well, my book, our merch, as well as the Patreon, which a big thank you to our current patron, Sheeny. And yes, that is just going to go randomly here.
It works.
Yep. Which, also, speaking of which, at this point in time, we all have merch for us now. So there's now a Frank the Dopamine Dog shirt, which is the 2B Frank shirt. There is a Joker shirt. And then there's obviously my stuff, which there's a few of those. And also, I recently added the 100% Wrong shirt, which comes from Backwater J. So, definitely check that out as well, if you're interested. just gotta shill so that we can get some money in here.
I'd like money. Money's good.
Yeah, money is good. We need it. We need it so that we can actually hang out for longer than just like a week or something.
Or a day.
That's true. But I still want to when we do hang out, I actually have two things that I want to do at some point. One, I want to show you guys around some places in San Francisco, but I also want us to go back to Nevada for a brief bit and just relive some of our memories there.
Oh boy. Well, we'll see if I can get out of Oregon this summer, bro.
That's fair. Speaking of which, we should. Is there any place that you would want us to see in Oregon?
I mean, yeah. Salem.
Okay.
Where I live. It's a great place to be. I love it here.
Which is, of course, not the Salem where the witch trials happened. I don't know how many people would actually think that, but still.
Wrong Salem.
Yeah, that's on the other side of or the other side of the country.
Yes. That would be Salem, Massachusetts. This is Salem, Oregon.
Which, speaking of which, it's actually kind of funny because my one of my grandpas actually lives kind of near there. I don't remember exactly where it is, but it's kind of close. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're insane.
What's new?
Nothing. I don't think we're ever going to be I don't think there's ever going to be something new that we're going to discover about each other because we just know each other so well at this point.
That's fair.
Oh my gosh. Also, I think Joker ran away because he's deafened himself.
Okay.
So, he probably will not be showing up anymore throughout this episode, but we can still keep talking.
Are we almost done? What time is it?
It is almost. It is 4:51 at this point.
I need to go do stuff at some point.
That's fair. Any things that you want to mention before we go about autism or any other mental disabilities?
Final thought. If you have questions, don't go Googling it. I mean, Google is great and Google is free and all, but I'd much prefer if you send us a message and asked us, because then I can answer questions that actually people want to know about, and that's more fun for me anyway.
Yeah, seriously. If you guys do have questions, absolutely do leave them down in the comments below. Especially for this video, I'm actually thinking of letting them see everything that goes on behind the scenes soon. So, we'll talk about that after this video. But yeah, 100%. If you guys have questions, leave them down in the comments below, and Jack will try and answer them at some point. So please leave them down there, and we will answer them to the best of our abilities.
Confirmed. All right. Adios, nerds.
Yep. So yeah. Again, thank you all for watching this video, and thank you for joining us here in Nerd Chat. Of course, please make sure to leave your thoughts and theories and your questions down in the comments below. Of course, leave a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you're new, and ring that notification bell. Actually, just subscribe in general, because, please, it helps a lot more than you may think. So, yeah, please subscribe. And, of course, ring the notification bell. Go down to the description, check out all of our stuff down there, including our social medias, our other channels, all that jazz, because it really does help us out a lot more than you may think. And, yeah, I think that's it for today. I've been Electro Ninja, and we have been the Nerds. And we will see you guys next time. But on!